Oh, this is crazy. Whew. Okay, let me back up. Now, is that better? I hope so. This is Patty. I'm Patty, the tinkerer's wife, and welcome to my garden. It's another Tuesday video time, and I want to welcome everybody who's here for the first time. I really appreciate you coming and spending your time with me, and everybody who's here today, thank you, thank you, thank you. Having you here is why I'm here, because I'd be talking to myself if it wasn't for all of you, and that's not very much fun, as most of us know. It's more fun when I can talk to you. So here we go. Today, first on the list is, I had to draw another name. 5 out of the 6 people sent me their addresses, and number 5 actually didn't send me their address. So I got the random number generator out again, and we have a new winner. And the winner for the seeds, this is the package of seeds, there's several packages, probably 10 or more, is My Life's a Journey, Sharon Karkarashvili. I don't know, did I say that even close? I like to try and pronounce hard names, that's why I'm doing that. So give me a thumbs up if I got it close, Sharon. Also, send me an email with your address. I've been talking pretty loud, and I actually finished this video twice and deleted both of them. So that's a total of 40 minutes worth of talking, because it's about 20 minutes long is what I was doing. I'm going to try and make this shorter. So I got done with this first thing. Now, the other thing, I had something on my mind today, and I'm going to show you the crimson clover too, because it's fabulous, those two things. But I had something on my mind today. Yesterday I was digging up plants out in front around my fence and out by my mailbox, and how that all got started. And I really shouldn't be digging things, I've got really crummy knees, but I just had to. It was like one of those things, it was just something I knew I had to do. So I come up here, I put the mail, deal with the mail, and then I drag out my digging fork and head out to the parking strip next to the mailbox, where I proceed to dig in very rocky ground to get out some eryngium. Sea holly is a common name for it. It's a very pretty one. It has the blue flower heads on it. Anyway, I dug that out. That took 10 or 15 minutes and a lot of sweat. It was, yeah, sweat equity plant. But I wanted to take that plant with me. Somebody's been stealing it, digging out the plant. They did it twice in the last year. And so I thought before they did it again and I didn't have a plant, I was going to try it myself, because something told me that what they were doing was working, and my doing cuttings from the roots didn't work. So I thought I'd try their method and see what I came up with. Now, if these plants work, I'll have a boatload of starts, which means I'll have some to give away. But right now, that was the first one. Then I went from there over to by the front gate, where there was a Rosa glauca, which is a blue-leaved rose. Very pretty, blooms once, single pink flower that's a wonderful color of pink with a white center. Anyway, and it produces orange hips. It's just a stunner all summer long, into the fall. Well, anyway, I got in there and I could see that the weed eater didn't kill it, that it was starting to regrow some new shoots. So I got re-energized, and I spent almost 15 minutes digging that one out too. Yeah, I'm crazy. I am crazy. I don't know. I was like, what am I thinking? I mean, I was down, bending over, and almost couldn't get back up because of how much pain I was having in my knees. Now, I've got bad knees. They need surgery on them at some point, but I'm still able to walk and do most things. I just shouldn't be digging and bending over trying to lift plants out of the ground, but I did anyway. Well, I didn't stop there. Across the aisle, across on the other side of the trellis, happened to be some starts for a clematis or clematis that a good friend gifted me with. They're very dear friends, actually. And I had been wanting for 2 years to dig this one start out, and I just hadn't done it. And I decided it's now or never. So I dug that one out, and I dug, like, I think 3 other starts of this plant out. And so I've got some nice starts. It looks like at least 2 of them are going to make it, and maybe more. Clematis, you can dig them almost any time. They're very tough plants. They're not wusses at all. But anyway, I went ahead and did that. I was thinking, what was I thinking? You know, I'm like stumbling over myself. And then I see a plant over by the rows that I was digging that I thought, oh, I should get that. That looks like this one plant. Well, I don't think it's the one plant I thought it was. And so, well, I think it might be Dame's Rocket, actually. It might actually be Dame's Rocket. I've got to go back out there. I think I've got a big stand of it out there that I could actually dig. Because it's a white Dame's Rocket. It's pure white. It's very pretty, and it glows in the moonlight. Worth having. Worth having, just saying. And it's also an herb, so that makes it worth having too. Well, anyway, went ahead and dug that one plant up. Then I had to come back here, rinse all the soil off of them so I didn't get any nasty roots or nasty seeds in them, because we've got some nasty stuff out in the front yard. I just didn't want to have that go wherever I was going. And that took me a while, and it was almost dark by the time I went inside. So that was several hours, and I was pretty exhausted, ate some dinner, went to bed and slept like a baby, did not wake up once in pain. Thank you, Lord. Normally I wake up like at 3 a.m. and it doesn't matter if I get to sleep at 12:30 or at 9:30. I still wake up at 3:30 in the morning or 3 o'clock in pain. I've got a muscle, the piriformis, that just gives me all kinds of grief. But not last night. So I'm praising God for that. And I've got these plants, and as I'm potting them up, I'm questioning the wisdom on what I just did. Set the last ones down, get everything watered in, walk inside. I'm wondering what kind of fool I've been. I don't even know if I'm going to have a house, where I'm going to move, if I'm going to live in an apartment, which I hope to God that's not going to be where I end up with. I'll be wanting to pinch heads off. I don't know that I could survive in an apartment. I'm just so, I think, weary from living in the city and all of the stresses that I've had around here, which, you know, it's how life is sometimes with my chronic pain and stuff. It's time. My soul needs a break. But anyway, aside from that, this morning as I'm writing in my journal and praying, that topic comes up in my writing. It was a big thing yesterday, and so it came up in my writing. And I'm praying, I write out a prayer, and I'm like, God, I don't know if this was the right thing to do or not. Would you show me? And I think I got 3 more words written down, and all of a sudden I'm reminded of the immigrants that came across on boats to the United States. And I'm reminded of the Oregon Trail pioneers. And I am reminded that all of these people, no matter whether they migrated from across the ocean or just came across land to a new place, they all carried with them plants that were important to them. Now you would say, well, what's the big deal about that? Well, here's what the big deal is about that. And I know this because I've studied Oregon Trail history enough with regards to the plants and the importance of those plants to the pioneers that I can say this with confidence. It made this wild place seem more like home. And for me, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what the place will be. It's like I'm immigrating, or like I'm migrating, immigrating, whatever. I've lived here 30 years. This is a big change. I am going to need things that make my new place feel like home. And those of you who have dogs, you might know this, or cats, their bed or a piece of your clothing can help to calm them down when they're in a new situation. Say if they have to go to the kennel or whatever. As a matter of fact, they recommend that you do that. And so maybe this is the human version of that. I don't know. But anyway, these plants are very, very precious to me. And they all have meanings. Some of them are given to me by very dear friends. Others are ones I've grown for years and I absolutely love. One of them behind me, I'm going to show you that It's in its beauty right now, is the silver buckler sorrel, and I am going to figure out how to propagate this thing in the next couple days because it's killing me and I don't want to lose it. So anyway, I really don't want to lose it. But let me show you that. And also I just want to say that when I remembered that about the pioneers, when God brought that memory to me, there was a great comfort, and I didn't feel bad about it anymore. I didn't wonder about if I'd done the right thing. I knew that I was doing what I needed to do and not just being the obsessive compulsive person that I have been in the past, where I needed all the plants like we need all the seeds, right? Well, anyway, let me show you this plant here. I'll give you a quick update on the garden too, and then we'll say goodbye. I don't want to keep you any longer. This can go quite a long time, and I've already been on here 10 minutes. This used to all be garden back here. So anyway, this is silver buckler sorrel. See if I can get a close-up here for you. You see how beautiful those leaves are? This is a wonderful salad herb. Something's been munching on it, speaking of a salad herb. It is very tasty. It will produce flowers, but I have never ever had it self-sow. Okay, now I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to show you the beauty. Actually, I'm going to get over here and turn it around and show you the beauty that is the crimson clover. This is why I was so excited about having crimson clover, and you can see it kind of weaves up through here. I thought what might be fun to do is in my next garden have a line of it right beneath a cattle panel and have it reach up through the cattle panel, you know, do a sideways cattle panel wall. But look at this. Now in the morning there are a lot more bees on here, and I might do a video regarding bees and this, just for fun, just a short video. There's just not a whole lot of them on here. I mean, there was like 4 times this morning, and I'm sure they've been on here in other times, but there's several different kinds of bees too. But isn't that glorious? And it's not just there, it's over there too. This bed over here is a little behind this one, and you can't see as many blooms because there's a dark fence over there. But yeah, this is just spectacular. It is just absolutely stunning. I'm trying to get those bees that are flying around. Well, anyway, another plant I got to show you here. This is Australian mint bush in bloom. Now this is a tender perennial most places, but here it has lived in this container for probably, I want to say 2 years. It does need to be repotted, but I can prune this. I'm going to prune it. I'm going to take some cuttings and try and propagate those, because those I can make new plants out of. And I might not have to take this big one with me. I might be able to sell it, which would be nice. More money for the new garden, wherever that is. And then, oh, and people say that fuchsias aren't hardy. This fuchsia, I mean, here, they say that fuchsias aren't hardy here in Zone 8B. That fuchsia is several years old, and it's been growing in that container for 3 years, and I had it in another container for a year. My little herb thing back there is all full, and I can see that it's tipping. It needs to be fixed. This is lemongrass that wintered over this year. We had a very mild winter. Oops, I'm knocking over plants behind me here. Lemongrass, I cleaned this up, and the geranium, normally this dies clear back and comes back just green, but this year it never died back, so that's cool. That's Gray Lady Plymouth. I have this plant here, which I don't remember what that was. I could probably find out. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. But some of the things that I did, here's some of the clematis starts. You can see how tiny they are. These are first year starts, so next year they'll about double in size. And this is golden oregano. It's looking pretty shoddy right now. It'll come out of it And I'm going to put that in a container, and it'll be beautiful in a short amount of time. But yeah, here's a little bit bigger one. And I'm not sure exactly if what this is. I need to find out. I think I know, but I'm not saying right now. Little Eryngium here. This is that blue sea holly. About 3 or 4 of the starts. Look at this. Oh, and while I was out here also last night until dark, I decided to divide this clump up. It was just packed in this gallon container. I took all the soil off of it, rinsed all the roots off so I could get it apart, because there was grass growing in it too, and I had to get that out of there. Got this little pot with a couple starts in it, and this out of it, and another one here. So yeah, that's what I do for fun. That's what I do for fun. How about that? Now, over here, you can see the bright red stems of the Swiss chard. Isn't that cool? Now, that was supposed to be a mix, and it turns out I had one green and the rest of them are all red, which is fine. I like the red ones. I think they're pretty. But it would have been nice to have some of the yellows and pinks and stuff in there. The onions are looking really good. The peas are growing nicely. Those I don't think those are the Oregon ones. Those are the King Tut, the purple peas. These are the 2 plants that are going to be mailed, and things will be mailed here very soon. Seedlings coming up here, but there's really not much to show you, so I'm going to go past that. Oh, my nasturtiums are getting ready to plant. Got more seedlings there coming up. Oh, I know what I wanted to show you over here. Let's go over here. I'm going to try not to have it down on the ground. When people point it down to the ground and they walk and try to talk at the same time, it makes me sick. So I'm trying to be nice to everybody. I don't know if you can see that. I might have to get a little different view. Oh, maybe there. Can you see that? Can you see that there? That is a pepper seedling. I have never had a pepper sprout in here before. Oh, isn't she lovely? That's the purple lady bok choy. These are all radishes growing like crazy. Aren't they lovely? I love this plant. I've had this plant, oh my goodness. I've had this plant since like the early 90s. I got it from a man that my husband knew, and that is Tradescantia pallida, better known as Purple Heart, and it's related to Wandering Jew. And the Tradescantia that grows native in the U.S. There's 2 different kinds. One is actually edible, and then one is not, so you'll have to find that. Here's another. I just bought another one of these. I showed you the other one back over there. I'm going to do this in another container. Heliotrope. Oh, and this is beautiful, is it not? It is called Zion Purple Sun. This is an osteospermum. California freeway daisy is a common name for it. But that is very uncommon and very beautiful. I'm going to try and winter that one over too. And then there's these guys, which I took the tag out of, but they're related to petunias, obviously. And then I love this mix. This is just a pastel. I think they call this a pastel mix. No, this is Easter basket. I think they're both Easter basket. Yeah. They're both Easter basket. I did get seeds for the pastel mix because it looks like it has my favorite one in there, and I'm hoping it does. These beans are looking great. These are the Viola, let me see. Oh, Triunfo Violetto snap bean. That is a bean that is Italian, and I grew them last year, and I love them. They go clear up over the top of the trellis. Just about to the center, a little past the center, so they'll be really nice. And I've got beets that never came up here that should have, and Tronchuda squash, or not squash, but kale that never came up here, so I've got some things I need to do there. I got beets for greens here, Ragged Jack kale here that's coming up. I love that, wanted that for, you know, young greens, and then lettuces. The Lunix lettuce, the red one, you can just barely see some of the starts there. And then this is the, do they call this? Rocky Top Mix. And I thought it was kind of cool. You really don't, with the true leaves, you can't see, with the new leaves you can't see it, but the true leaves, see the spotting there? So it shows you what it's going to be with the secondary leaves, the true leaves. Yeah. Wow, look at that. Isn't she pretty? I so love it. But yeah, it looks pretty good in here. I'm loving it. And it's going to be hard for me to cut down all of this beautiful, all these beautiful flowers, but it's going to have to happen. And it's going to, they're like bending down. We get rain and it knocks everything down. Farmers here grow this in the fields to replenish the soil. This is something you see very common in the Willamette Valley. And I fell in love with it when I first got to know about the plant, just because of the flowers, and I didn't understand back then what the importance of them was. So anyway, I did it again. I went 20 minutes. So I hope that you stayed with me. If you didn't, that's okay. But anyway, I want to thank you for spending time with me. And again, Sharon, be sure that you send me your email, or email me your address. Anyway, this is Patty the Tinkerer's Wife. I'm going to sign off for now. God bless.